Well, hi, good morning, and thank you so much for joining me in my shop here. Today is April 12th, a rainy day. Oh my gosh, rain yesterday, rain today. Just seems like rain forever now. No, the sun will return. So, what I'm talking about the sun returning, a lot of life returned to this radio yesterday, more than I actually expected. I got further along than I expected. So there is something strange here. If you watched the last video, you know I was using this clamp-on DC meter to try to read the current flow through the field coil here, just to keep an eye on it. I had it clamped on like this. And I was reading about 30 milliamps, something in that range. And then finished the video, I shut everything off, I was putting the video together, and then I looked over, and this meter's still sitting here. It still says 28, but everything's turned off. So, was the 28 real? Was there any field current? I don't know. I can't be sure. I think there was, but I don't know. This is my guitar cord, which cost me about 20 minutes yesterday because the cord broke, and it took me 20 minutes of fiddling around with everything else before I discovered there's a break in the wire. Okay. So the objective today is to make sound come out of the speaker. And if I'm lucky, actually make the radio work in the sense that touching the antenna has an impact on what's coming out of the speaker. If I can get that far today, that would be great. That would prove out an awful lot about this radio. Its parts, its tubes, all kinds of stuff would get proved out if I can make any sound at all come out of that speaker, in response to something happening at the antenna end of things. So this is a fairly straightforward matter, I think. I have to make a connection to the transformer here. Right now these wires are connected to the coil here. I have to now feed power into the transformer. It's got three terminals on the primary side, two outside and a center tap here. So it needs three wires to come to it. But this socket, or this plug, only has 4 terminals, but it does have 5 wires leaving it. So what's happening is one of the 5 wires is actually being shared. So there's only need for 4 wires, even though it may look like you need 5. Which one is shared? There's only 2 here. It must be one of these 2 that is shared. So, in fact, I figured this out already. So if we look over here, we can see that the red plug is in a terminal here that also ties to another terminal, and that gives a strong hint on which I can't remember. I've forgotten. I know what the result is. I can't remember the method to get there. The result is all I have to do is connect 2 wires from here to 2 spots on here, not this one with the connection over to the red wire. The red wire will be the double use wire. Anybody follow that? I sort of followed it. I think I know what I'm doing. So I'm just going to get some kind of clip leads, and we're going to clip these in, and really it's ready for another go. Now, when I played the radio yesterday, there was a moment where something happened, and it seemed to demand a lot more current just for a fraction of a second, as if something was breaking down, shorting out, or what. Only happened once, hasn't happened again. Not much I can do about something like that. But except be vigilant and be prepared. We don't know what it was. We don't know if it's a big time short circuit, that's going to draw power from the outlet, or if it's just something kind of internal to the radio. It all happened so fast, Your Honor. Okay, so that's great. And I know my coffee pot is full upstairs, so I'm going to get a cup of coffee, and then we're going to do this. And we're going to see if this radio actually works as it is. That would be amazing. Okay, I think we're ready now to try the radio out again. I've got the speaker hooked up the way it needs to be hooked up. This is actually clipped to the antenna wire at the back of the radio, just so I can do that kind of thing. just in case. But what I expect is going to happen, with the speaker connected, we're going to hear a terrible hum. That's my expectation. I don't have much hope beyond that. So the radio is switched on. Not sure what band we're on right now. Tone, okay. Deep breath. Volume control. Better get my hand on the volume control, just in case. Dim bulbs going first. And this will be a low voltage here. Well, that'll be enough to hear the hum, I think. There was a little bit of a buzz in there when I first hit the switch. And being very quiet. We have all of 75 volts on the radio. It's probably not enough. Okay, we'll raise it up to around 100 or so. A little hard to make that visible for you. 74 volts there. Let's take it up. Not a sound out of that speaker yet. We're 85 volts. I think there's. I feel a lot happier if there was a hum coming out of there. Oh, I can hear that. Okay, that's good. We got something going on here. Fat chance on that. 83 volts. We're still low. Okay, we'll go higher. But I would expect this to be making sound, and turning it higher is just going to make it louder. Nothing. It's getting warm, of course. It'll take a long time for this heavy metal stuff to heat up. What do we got happening here? We appear to have nothing happening. It appears nothing's going wrong. Like nothing's catching fire. Not a sound. There is a sound. There is a sound from something. Kind of an odd sound. I don't think it's from the speaker. How can we get some sound out of that speaker? Now, for all I know, I've got these all pushed wrong. What, can we see something up here? Television, tone. These are all stations. Okay, we'll change the band to a different band. How do you do that? I think I do it by turning this. I'm listening for any clicks or any sound. Oh, I heard something. Something there. We're still at 87 volts. We're still low on the voltage here. Nothing bad seems to be happening, so maybe I'll switch to full voltage here. Or switch to direct low. Let's do that. So right now we're at 80. We'll crank this down to about there and hit the switch. Okay, so we should be back to around 80, 81. Dim bulb's not in the circuit now. Okay, so we'll raise this up to like 100 volts or so. Something's happening. She's boiling. This is good. I like this. It's something. Let's try a different band. Where's the volume here? Volume's doing its thing. Ooh. So that's motorboating. That's a bad sign, but it's a good sign. Let's go a different band. You aren't getting rid of the motorboating. Rev your engines. Hey, it's a Tesla. No, Teslas don't sound like that. I think something would change when I get to the limit here. That's the limit. The motorboating's probably... Oh! Did that? Hot diggity dog here. Okay. It's kind of a come and go thing. Don't know why. Now none of those, I didn't put the covers on the tubes. So that motorboating may have been because the tubes are unshielded. And this sounds like a radio. I gotta get an antenna on there. Okay. I'm going to run and turn on an antenna in my shop here. And we're going to try it out as soon as my mouse starts working. I was a little unnerved about leaving my shop with this radio running, but nothing happened. Okay, so I'm going to hook this up to my outdoor antenna. There we go. Just the center conductor to start. Tuning the radio is a little tricky. I have to use these plungers. It's receiving. Okay, we'll try hooking the ground up here. So there's a ground wire. I don't know where it goes. An antenna ground wire here. Okay, we're going to hook up to the proper wire. Okay, ground. And then the antenna. Doesn't sound any different, does it? Now, how can I tune this thing? The string is broken, so I can't. It's receiving a station. Now, the tuning capacitor is kind of contained in a metal box here. It's a little hard to get it, so I'll continue using these. Passed another one. No question, it's working. Huh. I don't believe it. I don't believe this thing is working. That's a shocker to me. I did not expect this to work. Wow. Any heat building up. It's a little warm. This part's cold still. The coil itself has a touch of heat in it. No heat in this yet. Wow. Wow, I can't believe it. This is just stunning me. A really unexpectedly good result here. Where'd my battery go? I took my little battery. I'm going to look at it with the thermal viewer and just see if anything's hooking up in there. I've lost my battery. I have to go get my battery here. Okay, here we go. So I think we're seeing some tube sockets. This is set a little too sensitive, so I'm going to make it less sensitive. So hotter. It takes something hotter to make a red spot. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 things. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 tube sockets. And then there's a very bright red spot. Now you can't see this very well, I know that. There's a very bright red spot there. Very well defined, very bright red spot. And the temperature is being reported at about 40 degrees, so it's not all that high. There's a hole in the chassis here, and what's happening is the viewer is seeing a tube up above, the hot tube up above. Okay, so we're not too interested in tube sockets. There's something down here. So this is a high wattage resistor, is a little bit warm. It's not even 30. It's not hot at all. Let's see if we can spot anything else here. Again, I'm sorry you can't see this well on the camera. It is so awkward to make this appear on the camera. So I got some warm things down here. They're tube sockets. Tube sockets there. Oh, we got some heat over here. Oh, it's getting hot over here. At 35 degrees. There's a tube socket. Yeah, that's the big rectifier tube socket there. Kind of surprising the tube socket gets that hot that fast. Trying to make sure it's not that capacitor there. Ooh, it's warming up a little bit. How about that one that's down on the power cord? The one on the power cord, there's no heat in it at all. There's nothing going on with that one. And anything funny, anything jumping out here? This viewer has a very wide angle view, so it sees a lot even when you're up close. You can see a lot. Well, nothing is showing up as being out of sorts here. There's nothing overheating that's leaping out at me. Oh, what was that? Okay, so you can see the red things I'm seeing. You know what I'm seeing right now? I'm seeing the two light bulbs up here. Okay, that's good. So, wow. What do you do now? The radio's working. Well, there's lots of things we can do. We can check the different voltages on the plates and the screen voltage and stuff like that. We can look at the output tube. There's two output tubes. We can take a look at how they're biased and the like. And you know, all these wax capacitors in there, they probably should go. I just can't believe this thing is working. Wow. But basically plug it in and turn it on. That's kind of where I'm at with this. I didn't do anything to it, did I? Except carefully select the speaker. How lucky am I that I've got one that'll work on this. Great. I think I gotta stop now. I got to a spot I didn't think I was going to get to. I got to think about what to do next. Big time fun. Let us look for the battery, which I did not see. And we'll do this with the closer up camera, which I will have to stop the autofocus. So just bear with me just for a moment here. You say, well, why don't you do that before you start your videos? Well, you think I'm thinking of everything? I'm not. Okay, here we go. So we're going to freeze the focus. It's just a little bit closer. Something like that. Okay. Where are you, battery? Now the radio's not on. Let me just pull the plug out of the thing here too, just to be sure. Where are you, battery? Battery's going to be, what did I say it was near? I can't even remember what I said it was near. Okay, here we go. Battery. It's a good thing to look this over anyway. How stunning that this radio does not hum. What's going on with the capacitor now? It's way down there. I can't get a good look at it. So this capacitor has mounted on the top of it a terminal strip. And what I'm trying to see is that original one still connected? That's really hard to say. There's a wire down there. I'm not sure what to make of that. Okay, let's move on. Again, we'll no doubt revisit that at some point. Looking for a battery. Looking for a battery. Look at these, just fantastic coil. See that the thickness of the wire, the spacing between it, is all controlled. Every one of these coils is very carefully controlled. Look at this one with the woven wire on it. Weaving the wire reduces the inter-wire capacitance or something like that. Where's a battery? None of this stuff was overheating. All these old resistors in here, they might not be accurate in their value. Anybody see a battery yet? I don't see one up here. This is a little empty up here. What's that thing? What is that? Wire connected. Wow, it looks like some kind of capacitor to me. Is that the battery? That's a weird looking battery if that's a battery. Well, no wonder I didn't see the battery first time around. I'm not seeing it even under a close look. If I were a battery, where would I go? It's kind of interesting. Look at how many things are connected to that one terminal. Wow. That's a lot of stuff. Oh, here's another one of these. This one's hooked up to the coil. I think that's a capacitor, but I don't know. It's weird looking. That would be a battery. It's a little far-fetched too, but well, we've gone right through the whole radio. Almost all the way through it and back. And other than those two weird things, I wonder if there's a parts list. What up in here? No. Oh, well, okay, that's... I said it would be a lot of fun. We did find a couple of weird looking parts. And that's... Let's just look at this for a second here. So, it's riveted to the chassis. It certainly appears to have a number of plates or sections inside. And a big screw on the side of it there. If it's an adjustment, it's in an extremely awkward place, so I don't think it's meant to be adjusted. Maybe adjusted once in the factory. Of course, it's true of all the alignment. The idea was you just do that once in the factory, never do it again. But obviously, from my experience, when they're this old, a lot of radios benefit a lot from being realigned. Where'd that other one go? There it is. Well, it looks just like the first one. So that wire you're looking at actually goes right across and ties to this terminal on the left. So it looks like the other terminal is the chassis grounding here. It also has this, actually it's a big nut. What a weird thing. Battery or not. Well, considering I can't find the batteries, but I found this weird thing. They must be, and then there's two of them. I gotta look on the schematic, see if I can find another battery. Yeah, okay. Wow, okay, that's a, and what good would those batteries be? Hard to say what they're doing. We'll put a voltmeter on them. I've got a bunch of them. This is what I was looking for. This kind of battery here. Usually a little clip, easy to spot, stands out. Didn't find it. Okay, I'm going to study that schematic here. While I was looking at one of those mystery parts, it turns out there's another one. So there's one here you can't see. There's one here. These are the two we've looked at. There's another one down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to pick one that I think I can identify its location in the circuit. And oh my gosh. Much easier said than done. Well, they seem to be associated with these trimmers. There's a whole bank of trimmers under here. And and this other one is attached right to this coil. Yeah, anyways, this is just connected to one of the trimmers. Okay, I'm jumping in at this point to say I've had a video problem this whole morning, and each time I've gone to look at the schematic and put it on the screen, it hasn't come on the screen. Nothing came on the screen. So what I've done in this video is I've cut out all the sections where I'm examining the schematic, and this has made the video kind of weird. Like the next part you're going to see is me talking about an antenna out in the cabinet. So I'm going to explain that a little bit. But the rest of it, sorry, it's kind of choppy and weird. So be it. Okay, so what I noticed about this radio is it has the antenna terminals down here, and on the schematic you can see that the two terminals are connected together. And sure enough, there's a wire right here connecting the two terminals together. So it's antenna and antenna. Now, I don't know, 99 times out of 100, it's antenna and ground. Weird what they've done here, antenna and antenna. But when I was listening to the radio, when we were listening to it, I didn't hook up anything to this. I hooked up to two wires hanging out the front, which I assume were the wires heading for a loop antenna. Where's the loop antenna? Maybe back in the cabinet. There was something in the cabinet I noticed. Now the cabinet's back kind of in a storage spot in my garage. It's very hard to get access to it. So what you're going to see next is I'm returning from my garage. I've taken photographs with my cell phone. I'm going to show you the photographs and talk about this weird antenna I found in the radio, and then that's the end of the video. So I apologize for the video error. I am studying a different video software for making these videos. I'm in the middle of practicing with it. So the kind of problem I just experienced today wouldn't happen with this new software. So sorry about that. You missed lots of me talking. Talk. So get back to the video and what I have to say about the antenna I discovered. Okay, this isn't the best way. I'm going to show you some pictures on my phone here that I took from inside the cabinet. Many pictures I took trying to get a shot of this antenna. And this picture, it's way down there. Now the reason I had trouble taking these pictures, I've put this back, I put the cabinet back into a storage spot. So I'm just reaching my hand in the back and taking a series of pictures. And that's a parts list there, and schematic down here. Now, this piece here, this piece of cardboard, with you see this little bit of writing here. You can see a wire hanging and a rivet right to here. Okay, so in behind, I was able to stick my finger down in behind and feel around this rivet. There's no wire, there's no loop antenna, there's nothing in there. This is a thin sheet of cardboard, but you see it's got something written, which we can now read. I'm going to read this to you. Silvertone radio net. Antenna, net, catch things in the net. Radio net. Special noise reducing aerial system. Usually I think when I use, usually to me the word aerial means outdoor, high up in the air, aerial antenna. But this is not aerial, it's in the cabinet. This, I'll just read this to you. This special self-contained aerial system will provide excellent reception under normal conditions. Ooh, there's the catchphrase. Extraneous interference and noise that might be picked up by a conventional antenna are reduced and eliminated. Or eliminated. Due to the elimination of unsightly connecting wires, receivers equipped with a radio net may be operated in every part of the home, convenient to an electrical outlet. So as long as you've got a plug in the room, you can put the radio in there. See, there was a big problem here. Let's picture this. Husband and wife going out shopping for one of these radios. Big investment. A lot of money at stake. You want to get a good one. And want to have good sound, all that kind of stuff. But the wife will say to the husband, don't buy one that we have to stick wires all around and antenna out in the backyard. Is there not radios that we can get that don't need that? And the manufacturers are listening, because even though most of the manufacturers might have been male at that time, they were all married to women who would have the same feeling about these ugly wires all over the place. So the radio manufacturers began to market radios that required no external antenna. And this is quite doable on AM broadcasts, because you can pick them up quite well with a local loop antenna. Piece of wire is actually maybe not as good as a good loop antenna will do the trick. So a lot of radios are coming out at this time with loop antennas. Those little tabletop guys have a loop antenna at the back. It only works for AM, but what are people listening to in North America anyway? No one was listening to shortwave. Even back in the day, I don't think shortwave was popular at all in North America. That's right, Shadow. Yes. She likes my stories. Shadow, where are you going? Where are you going there? Oh, I think she wants me to go with her somewhere. Do you want me to go with you? Yes. That sounded like a no, but that was actually a yes. So she probably wants a treat or something. So the point of this whole discussion is, radios came out with various kinds of built-in antennas, and they were sold hard to the public as radios that you don't need, an ugly antenna out in the backyard and wires, festooned all over your house. And hey, thumbs up for those who might be concerned about how things look. So in this case, with this radio, it looks like all that is a metal plate. It looks like a piece of cardboard with foil on the back, a rivet going through connecting to the foil. I couldn't get it out of there. It's stapled into the cabinet. I'm going to tear it. So if I have to pull the cabinet out, I'm not going to do that right now. But if I took it out, we might find, what was that? Strange sound. Was that you? Who's making that weird sound? She's wondering what it is too. What was the strange sound? Big eye? Big eyes? What's the strange sound? You don't know? Do you know? She's purring up a storm too. Okay. Right. So it's a metal plate in the side of the radio with a single wire coming off. It's not a loop antenna by any means. To me, it strikes me it would be a piece of crap as an antenna. But maybe there's more to it. If I took it out, maybe I'd find out there's some weird pattern in the back. But again, there's only one wire going to it, so it's not a loop antenna. I don't know how it would help much. And then this is kind of weird what they've done here. You can see that you have some trouble seeing it with the camera angle, but there is actually a wire right through here. And the two antenna terminals, antenna and ground, you would expect, are actually antenna and antenna. Why? Why would they do that? I don't know. And then where do you hook up a loop antenna? If you have a loop antenna, it's probably the two wires that are hanging out the back. They're really intended for a proper loop antenna. That's what the schematic says. Oh my gosh, look at my cat now. Look at her. She's just she's in the command position. I'm waiting for you. That's what she says. Okay, I gotta go deal with my cat. That's it for today. I'm not gonna do any more in here. I've done enough. Interesting stuff being welled up here. As the more time you spend, the more stuff you see. That's just how it works. It takes time. Okay, Shadow, I'm coming. Okay? And no answer comes a response. See ya.